Maya Angelou was born on April 4th, 1928, in St. Louis, Missouri. Growing up, she experienced intense racism and hatred. This pushed her to absorb traditional African American culture. She always loved the arts, even as a teen. At first, she started out in operas, musicals, as well as dancing. As well as her many hobbies, she loved to travel. She went to Europe and also Egypt. She mastered several languages before coming back to the United States. She then began working on her first book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. She has since published 15 books and poetry as well. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the currents end, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade wind soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on the dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams, his shadow stouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. I have always been drawn to this poem. Her imagery is very powerful. The first stanza pulls you in with this beautiful image of a bird soaring through the sky and following the wind into the sun's rays. It gives you a sense of freedom. And then it dramatically shifts to this dark, angry image of a bird that is kept in a cage. It shocks you almost to go from one extreme to the other. She structures this poem almost as if it's a song. There is a chorus, which is represented in the repeating stanzas that start with, the caged bird sings. Every stanza is 3 lines, except for the ones that are repeated. The smoothness and the rhythm of the poem also make it seem like a song. The repetitive stanzas intensify the mood of the poem for me. They make the anger of the caged bird more real and human-like. I think the poem is meant so everyone can connect to it personally. Everyone has felt at a time in their life that their freedom has been taken away. There are no metaphors or similes in the poem. It is all very descriptive. But I think the bird in the poem is supposed to represent Maya. She uses rhyming as well as assonance. She uses rhyming in the 2 repeated stanzas on the last words of the first 3 lines. Then she uses assonance in the other stanzas. She uses it on the last words of the first 2 lines. This is my favorite poem because you can feel her anger and emotion in the writing.